Good evening. Good evening and a Saturday night to you. That's right. Since a certain person's not on tonight, I thought the mighty Psyko deserves to educate and entertain the Saturday night crowd. Since a certain other somebody is moving more north in Canada and is busy. And I saw that the rice patties were on tonight too. I don't know if there's any other fun going on currently at this point, but I figured, what the hell. Now, I went off and I titled this thing, RSD Finds in a Very Psyko Time. Yeah, I'm playing catch up because last Saturday was too nutty between Rachel's marathon blah, 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 blah session and went on for hours and hours, which that's not what I'm got a beef about. It's just the whole Saturday night thing. You know what I'm saying? Usually Saturday night is meant for everybody else, like me, like this moron here. You know what I'm saying? It's all right though. It's okay. There's enough room for everyone here in the VC and here on YouTube. And remember, guys, always powered by coffee each and every time. That's right. So yeah, so I figured, Saturday being what it was last week, I've got so many things to show. I don't know about you guys. I've seen other people's various YouTube videos in regards to what everybody picked up for RSD, but guess what? I'm thrifty, I'm frugal, I'm a poor ass. I work at Walmart. I cannot afford Record Store Day records, even if it was something I wanted. And there was only one title that I was looking for, and of course that sold out very quickly. And of course it also went eBay flipped pretty fast, and I'm going, well, that's the end of that idea, because there's no way in hell that I'm going to go off and spend. Now, I know some of those people flipped all those Taylor Swift records, and I'm like, I could give two shits about Taylor Swift. All right. But noticing that Macho Man, that rap album that came out, Be a Man. Yeah. Only 1,000 copies. They underestimated how many people wanted that. Even if I knew that was going to be on that list, I'm like, I would have bought the damn thing so that I could go off and show it off in a future installment of Jukebox from Hell. See, here's a nice segue nobody saw coming. And everybody's like, shit, he's going to talk about his new series. Yeah, I am for a minute. So, because Macho Man deserves an episode in Jukebox from Hell, and maybe we'll get to that eventually. I decided that I'm going to do seasons of 10 episodes. We just got done doing episode 8, which was the 1991 album, Contraband, by Contraband, of course. 5 different musicians, 5 different bands, looked good on paper, just didn't translate really well. You know what I'm saying? So this is currently episode 8 right now. Still having, I had a lot of positive reactions in regards to episode 7. The New Monkeys review from that album from 1987 from that tragically named band. Because it's like, ooh. That'd be like having a band called the New Beatles. Yeah, the Beatles were the 60s. Here, it's 2023. Let's have the New Beatles. That would sink like a stone, ladies and gentlemen. Sink like a stone. All right, let's see. There's not many people on right now here. In fact, I've got my one solitary soul. What's going on tonight? Am I missing something as far as for broadcasts are concerned? Because, like I said, I know Rachel's not on. Is there some record auction again or something? You know, I can't afford that stuff, nor would I be able to play that game, all right? I'm not knocking it. Everybody's going to do what they want to do, right? But I can't afford record auctions. Come on. I'm middle-aged. Always powered by coffee each and every time. That is a promise here in Psycho's Platters. That's right. We did end up getting I did get a handful of subs, okay, through YouTube, but sometimes it doesn't show you who the subs are. It just shows that your count went up. But we do have Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary, okay? For some reason, that was overlooked, but he gets a shout out right now. So very, very glad to have Ron. Ron's a good guy out down there in Florida. And, you know, I love his metal channel and stuff like that. And he shows some awesome records. He got, I guess, his #1 grail. He got that Pantera album that he was looking for. I think it was Power Metal, if I remember correctly. He got that. Before I forget, Royce in the house. This is the final week to do his contest. I am shoring up that kind of stuff right now, too, so that I can hurry up and do a clip for that as well. I hope I can gather it all up. I didn't promise. I just figured I thought I would just do what I could do for what I do best. But so that's what we've got going on that. So as I told you guys, Record Store Day, just way too expensive. Cannot afford that junk. I really, really can't. Pardon me a second here, please, because it's a little warm in here. I'm going to at least kind of open this up for a little bit. Yeah, that's better. So, anyhow, so I ended up going to some resale shops is what I ended up doing and saved myself a bunch of money. Boy, did I save myself a bunch of money. So I found in the buck bins, let's see, I found a couple albums, all right? This one here I got because I just liked the way it looked. It says Ultraphonic High Fidelity. It says Rock and Roll featuring Louis Prima. I know, you're like, Louis Prima's not rock, which you're right. But you think I was going to pass that up? Do you honestly think I was going to pass that up? No, I wasn't. And I know that, you know, this is pretty much a knockoff label, but you know what? It was in really decent shape. Really surprised me. Okay. And what you've got here for Louis Prima, anyway, it just says Sing, 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 Boogie Woogie, St. Louis Blues, Chinatown, Coney Island Boogie, Clarinet Boogie Blues, Ride Deacon Ride, the Screwdriver #2, not to be confused with the Screwdriver #1 or the Socket Wrench #14, which we won't talk about that here. Shotgun Boogie, which, gee, that sounds like a teenage wedding. Oh my. Divorce Me COD. Notice that was underneath Shotgun Boogie. Which was Divorce Me COD. Was that the follow-up hit for Tammy Wynette? I don't know. Beauty Parade Gossip and Steamroller Blues, played by America's all-star groups. Yeah, right. We don't know who the hell that is. We just know Louis Prima is in this. So that was the first one. Ended up with, by the way, I know there's only 2 of you out there. Will one of you pop in and just simply say, is the mic level good? Can you guys hear me? Please and thank you in the comments. This next one here, I actually saw the cover to this, I don't know, a couple of years back, actually. But, you know, for some reason, they wanted more money than this. And I'm like, you know me, Mr. Cheapo. Poussette, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Poussette Dart Band on Capitol Records. Here's the front, here's the back. Yes, that's right. Hi, Walrus. Listen, thank you for letting me know. Happy 90th birthday, Willie Nelson. You know, I mean, out of all honesty. And I hope that he keeps rolling his doobies in pretty paper. See what I did there? Yeah, thank you. Because you're always on my mind. Oh, boy. All right, so we go from that to, she's so pretty on here. She really, really is. A nice copy of Lulu's To Sir With Love. All right, I don't think I even own a Lulu album, to be honest with you. But for $1, I wasn't going to pass it up. And you guys know who plays guitar on that song, right? Very nicely conditioned here. You know who plays guitar on To Sir With Love for Lulu? Who said Jimmy Page? That's absolutely correct. Now, I don't know about any of the rest of the album, of course, but so me, Mr. DJ voice, oh boy. Okay. I forgot. I'm so stupid here, okay? So on the back here, it says produced by Mickey Most. Okay, that's not the surprise. Underneath it, it says arranged by John Paul Jones and Peter Knight. So for at least the To Sir With Love, you've got half of Led Zeppelin. You have half of Led Zeppelin. Yeah. So, but it says here, most young girls do progress from crayons to perfume. It is a nice way to go. That's a phrase Lulu sings in To Sir With Love, the title song in a fine, perceptive film that begins with tension, biting nails, embarrassment, awe, telling tales and schoolgirl days of astonishment, and emerges with a sense of appreciation to hair curlers, young womanhood, and a deep measure of maturity. Oh boy, the film and Lulu's singing are both big, bright, blooming hits. Lulu, who's the latest British musical phenom, appears as a Cockney kid. It's Cockney in a tough East End school in London. She sings the title song under the credits. Remember Shout and Satisfied? They were Lulu's earlier hits. Now, with To Sir With Love and The Boat That I Row concurrently on top 10 charts, the progress to perfume and popularity continues. There is a wonderful collection of material included in this album. Neil Diamond wrote The Boat That I Row. Day Tripper, of course, is that Lennon-McCartney tune. To Sir With Love was written by Don Black and Mark London. They also wrote the delightful Best of Both Worlds, and Mark did You and I by himself. That had to have been an interesting three-way. Lulu has progressed from crayons to perfume excitingly. She's a red-headed song stylist who has a feel for soul and deep expression and a personal commitment to the meaning of a lyric. She turns an idea into an image. Lulu sings To Sir With Love. Her skirts are mini. Her talent is maximum. How about them apples? How about that? Oh boy. Lulu is all right. Lulu was all right. Then this last album, I was very surprised. Yes, hang on a second. That's right, kids. Greetings from Jackass Wax. How you doing, Dave? I thought I had, like I said, since it seemed like it was crickets out in YouTube land other than Rice Patty. He's got like 9 people. I don't know if anybody else is doing anything. Did you ever see the clip of the Lulu? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, and I loved it. I loved it. That clip was great. Seriously. Excellent. And if I remember correctly somewhere, Lulu briefly had a monkey connection. I want to say, of course, it had to probably do with Davy. Davy always got all the monkey connections. Was that a euphemism for something else? Only I know. All right, so this last album here, actually the vinyl is pretty decent. So, ooh, dang it, sorry. The vinyl, this will teach me for having a way too long of a cord. You guys, can you still hear me? I hope so. That's my fault. So, anyways, so when I usually find albums on this label, they're usually beat up to holy hell. And to be able to actually find this was kind of cool. From the late 50s, on King, Bill Doggett on tour. Look at that tour bus. Look at all those happy people. Just look at them. There's a slight tape, just a little bit of tape, maybe about a 2-inch tape thing on the top. Other than that, it's not really that bad, out of all honesty. And like I said, decent vinyl. But I always like looking at all the backs of the old stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? But you got Earl Bostic is on here, Little Willie John. I did not. Oh, that's right, Hackshaw Hawkins. He was on the country section at King, wasn't he? Yeah. And of course, Hawkshaw was still alive. Eddie Davis, York Brothers for Country, Steve Lawrence. Steve Lawrence was on King. Oh boy. Yeah, boy, Earl Bostic did a bunch on here, didn't he? Yeah. Anyways, really nice to have, nevertheless. Like I said, buck a piece for that stuff. Could not shake a stick at those deals, indeed. Hi, John. Always good to see you. Always good to see everybody here. They did. I'm telling you. Most of the time, though, I only ever seem to come across on 45s. Now, saying that, I probably have said this story, but we're going to briefly talk about it anyway. I'm leaving your comment up here for a second. So this goes back to a few months ago. I was in South Central Missouri. I was in the middle of a antique flea market-y thing, right? And there was an old Victrola. And I like old Victrolas, but guess what? You know what? They're bulky, okay? They're pretty to look at, but they're pretty bulky, okay? And there was 2 plastic big Rubbermaid totes of 78, right? And I'm looking through, and the first couple books are pedestrian. And then I get to the 3rd or 4th book, and God, I cannot remember who it was. Was it Little Willie John? Or, no, Bull Moose Jackson. It was Bull Moose Jackson on King and on a 78. And it was very clean, and I'm going, oh my, maybe there is some good things here. So I went to go to the counter lady, and she's like, no, you gotta buy the Victrola to get the records. I'm like, fuck. Because I was willing to like say, hey, look, okay, and if they're still there by the time I come back, because I'm thinking about going back in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be like, look, this Victrola has been sitting here for months. I know, because I know when I was here last. Okay? It's going to be May. I was there in October, November, roughly. So I'm going to be like, look, call the owner, see if he wants $10 a book per book of 78s, okay? And I would assemble my own books. So at least I could get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe get some nice treasures. Country, blues, bluegrass, R&B, King, you're right. King Records had it all. And if I remember correctly, it was an Ohio-based label also. Ohio seemed to have a whole bunch of melting pot for everything in vast forms of entertainment, but especially in music and in radio, definitely. Yes, that's absolutely right. And I'm going to leave your comment up for a second too, John, because, okay, so every collector makes mistakes. I've made a few. I did it. No, that's not it. But there was a garage sale. This is in the 90s. I remember this. And this was back when I lived in Harvard, Illinois, which is near border town in Illinois, Wisconsin, in northwest Illinois. And just down the street from me, there was, in the garage sale, there was a big box of records. And I'm like, okay, fine. Well, half of the box was James Brown, which I'm just like, cool, you know. But here was the problem. And here's where I kicked myself in the ass. In that box, no record, mind you, just the cover, was the original version of James Brown's Please, Please, Please. Now, if you know that cover, It was very scandalous at the time for some reason because it simply showed a white woman from the waist down, I think, if I remember correctly, going up some steps. But she was white. She was a white woman. She was in a dress, and it was just kind of controversial at the time. And they changed that cover pretty fast. Thank you, Cincinnati. Very, very great. Let's see, along with WKRP, Jerry Springer, and Cleveland had the Ghoul and the Cleveland Browns. I can't even say that. So yeah, you know, and I didn't put two and two together that I could have just got another vinyl. And they were selling them for $0.25 apiece. I kicked myself in the ass. So I could have had an original James Brown, Please, Please, Please album cover. Okay, so that was one of my early collecting mistakes. Another one that I remember I came across. This is another late '90s story, though. This time, I stopped in Williams Bay, Wisconsin. So you're going over the border into Wisconsin from Illinois, near Lake Geneva. Beautiful area, beautiful area. But there was a nursing home, okay? There was a nursing home that was attached to a Christian bookstore, and then there was a church slash performing arts center. It's kind of strange, that whole corner lot. And I went in there, and there was this big box of 78s, 10 cents a piece. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that I remember seeing about a dozen Paramount 78s. All right? And I know you're sitting there going, what? You passed up Charlie Patton, you passed up Robert Johnson, you passed up Blind Man Fuller, you passed up, I could go forever, right? You passed up Blind Lemon Chitlin, Blind Lemon Pie. See, now I'm throwing different TV movie references at you. Wasn't there a watermelon one for Cheech and Chong? I can't remember. The point of the matter is, though, they didn't say blues. They said gospel. But I didn't realize that Black Gospel on Paramount also could be collectible. I let him sit there. Boy, what a dumbass I was. I'm like, I hope somebody else grabbed them instead of them getting thrown out. Because I'm not a gospel fan normally. I do like some, but that was a big ass problem for me. Yeah, see, there you go. I've got at least, I'd say 5 to 10 King 45s over the years. But the thing is that that was my collecting mistake, was that I passed up on the Paramounts. And then lastly, this is going way back to the 70s. I lived in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That's where I lived in just about all the 1970s. In Northwest Illinois was Crystal Lake, Illinois. They were not known for being famous, Crystal Lake, okay? Other than, of course, Camp Crystal Lake. And they did have a trio called The Ship, which cut an album for Elektra Records in 1972. Hi, George. This man is great at what he does. I'm telling you, if you love the Four Seasons, and who doesn't, sub to this dude. Sub to George. He's awesome. And even if you don't like the Four Seasons, he does put other stuff up there too. It's a learning experience over there. Always good to have you here. You know what's funny? Seriously, maybe I'll go back. Maybe you can help me out on this. I have seen some Mahalia Jackson, but today I came across a early Staples Singers album on Epic Records, all right? And I could have sworn that in the family photo there is a little girl, and I'm thinking it's Mavis. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. You're absolutely welcome, just being totally honest. I've got on a table over there the VCLT that George sent me of the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. I got to apologize. I've been half busy. I actually want to sit down and listen to it completely, but I will. So so in the 70s, like I said, we had a place called Rosenthal's Barn, and the reason why it was called that was because at that time it was Rosenthal's Lumber, which was an old-timey lumber yard, but the barn, which was across the street on the weekends, was flea market-y stuff. So imagine legitimate flea market in the 1970s, okay, where you could find anything and everything. And in a box of albums, and I remember this, I wish I could go back in time and grab this damn thing. I had in my hands New Colony 6's Breakthrough LP on Centaur. I have been looking for that thing for 20 years, maybe longer now. A real genuine copy, because I'm told they only made between 500 and 1,000 on vinyl. It's been reissued, which is fine. I've got that Sundays at the River's Edge comp signed by Ray Graffia and Ronnie Rice, who I've met, both of them from that band. Awesome. New Colony 6, one of the best garage bands in the mid-1960s, and then turned into some nice, very easy listening songs. And then they went back in the early 70s and tried to actually get it, I don't want to say funky, that's not quite right. You know what? I am doing okay. Thank you for asking. Although saying that, I keep changing topic here. Maybe that's the ADD in me. But Manny, you brought up something I'll tell you about, okay? My health has been on and off, all right? We're trying to figure out with the leg issue. Please pray for my girlfriend, Carol. We found out she's going to have 2 surgeries concurrently. The first one will be in 3 weeks. We're still trying to figure out my knee surgery. I'm not sure what's going on with this yet. We'll know in about 3 weeks whether we're going to, if it looks like mid to late summer. But so I went to a antique mall that I haven't been to in a few months. And in the middle of everything, yes, I know, I'm sorry, I'm getting to the story. So the thing is that I went to an antique mall that I haven't been to in a few months. And there was a bunch of new booths, and there was a lot more vinyl for me to look through, which was awesome. It was very awesome. In fact, I almost bought this if the price was a little better. They had an original mono copy of the Monkees, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. Now, I already have a copy of this, okay, that I found near minty at a Goodwill for $1 a couple of years back. But I was going to buy this to hang on to for somebody else that needed a mono, but the side 2 was all scratched to holy hell, and for the 15 or 18 bucks they wanted for it, it did not justify the price. So I put it back. But so one of the new booths, though, I was looking through the vinyl and I started getting sick. And I'm like, and I've been fine most of the day. I was getting sick though, and I'm going, why am I not feeling good? My stomach, I almost thought I was going to throw up. That's how bad it was. And then I figured it out. The records I was looking at were on these wooden shelves, okay, these big wooden shelves, and they recently must have shellacked them because the fumes are coming off of this, and I didn't catch that right away in my head. And I'm like, it was so bad I had to leave the row of booths and went into the bathroom to start, splash some water on my face. It was so bad. And I'm not normally I think I heard that the male version of the term Karen is a Terry. So no offense to any people named Terry out there, but I looked it up on Google, so blame Google. So I'm sitting here and I kind of told the one that was running the flea market, I said, look, I apologize. I know you wouldn't normally give a crap to hear about what's going on with me personally right now, but I just want to let you know that over in that aisle, somebody recently shellacked these wooden shelves and the fumes are kind of bad. So I don't know, maybe they figured I was crazy. Maybe they looked into it. I don't know. But yeah, I had to leave after a couple minutes. One of the last things I looked at, though, and maybe I'll go back, but I think $20 is too much, even if it's minty. But I did find a stock copy. Notice I said stock of the 1983 album of Alice Cooper's Dada, which I have been looking for that album for a long time. At first, I thought you were going to say it was Mold. Oh, dude. Oh, God. There are certain places that I will visit. There used to be this honey hole, I said honey hole, I found a lot of 45s in this place in South Central Missouri. Man, did I find so much. Not so much in the albums, but I walked out of there with hundreds and hundreds of 45s dirt cheap over the last few visits. I had to wear latex gloves and a mask, because I'm normally not a mask dude, okay? I just am not. But you had to in this place because, and we're talking like the construction grade. And I only wore it in there because, yes, there was mold, lots of dust. This dude, I like the guy, I do, but he doesn't believe in cleaning really well, I guess. Okay, I heard about this, but no. Can you mention in the comments, please? Because that cover to Dada, I like it. It's really whacked out for 1983, okay? But I want that album either on album or... I'd rather have it on vinyl, but I'll settle for CD. But, I mean, I cannot seem to find this album under $20. There was a gold stamp promo. I think when I saw that at one of the record stores, they wanted like $30. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for this. I know it's not a great album. I know they didn't make a very big original print run on that album because I want to say it was after Special Forces in '81. That's when they really dropped the production run on Alice when it came out to albums and such. If you step back from the cover, you'll see a face taking up most of... Oh, all right. I'm going to have to look. I don't know. I'm hemming and hawing on that one. I'm going to give myself a couple weeks. Because I'm not rich, all right? I mean, I want it. I've got... Oh, jeez. Yeah, if I get Dada, then I'll have the whole Warner Brothers run. I'll have all the way from Love It to Death, which I have a straight label copy of Love It to Death, but it says straight and Warner Brothers, but it's a straight label vinyl in it. So with the thumb protrusion. But I've got a complete run I'll have from that to Dada. I don't even have the MCA record stuff. Oh, nice. When I was a kid, I wrote to Salvador Dali. I did. And I never got an answer back. I wrote to him and I wrote to Marc Chagall in France. Why? Because I was a goofy kid. That's why. I used to write to all kinds of people. I wrote to world leaders. I wrote to all the... Oh, look. Oh, you will see now. There you go. There you go. Have I ever come across... God, I don't know if I ever came across an original Pretties. I did come across an original copy of Easy Action, right? Is that the name of the other album where they're pretty much you just see their backsides? But they wanted way too much for that, and in the condition that it was in was not that great. That's right. Okay, so let me think about this. I think it's Special Forces, Zipper Catches Skin, and Dada are known as the Coke Blackout Trilogy albums because, you know, he was doing the drinking, he was doing the crack cocaine. Okay, second album, thank you. So yeah, I don't think I've ever come across an original Pretties. I just came across Easy Action. But like I said, they wanted way too much. See, there you go. Oh, okay. You know what? I should, if I can ever find an old CD, I'll even grab those that'll be my placeholder. Because you know, Zappa obviously saw something. Zappa was the one that signed him to strings. And I still love the story that Alice brought up that one of the first concerts that they did, they literally cleared out the place they were playing. I'm like, yes. And I first heard School's Out and got it on cassette. Play that thing to death. You know, I'll tell you something. I've got an original School's Out, but I don't have a copy with the panties. I could have sworn I heard that they reissued that now with reissued panties. And then the one that I need, okay, I don't need it, but if I ever can find one, I want an original, because I have an original $1 Billion Babies, okay, but I don't have the one with the $1 billion bill, all right, because every copy I've come across, the dang thing's torn out of it. Drives me nuts. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the story on that, I gotta tell you, so thankful. It's not this gold mine, but it was the one before that. I think it's called Pacific Eye and Ear. They were some of the ones that developed some of those covers. My God, I still love the whole idea. School's Out, you open it up and you can make it into a desk. I'm like, that is damn cool. Early 70s ingenuity, ladies and gentlemen. Alice is something else. Alice is still something else. New album coming out, I'm not sure when, but I am told that for part of that album, the Alice Cooper Band is back again for at least a couple tracks. Exactly, right? I'll tell you something. Like I said, that Special Forces and the Zipper Catches Skin, I found those. Yeah, geez. That was one of the Dead Man's record collections in Illinois when I still was. So I've had these things for 15 to 20 years. The Zipper Catches Skin was a gold stamp promo, and Special Forces was a regular stock, but they sound beautiful. Those are my, oh my God. Oh my. You know what? I have never seen a copy of Constrictor. I have seen Raise Your Fist and Yell, but they want way too much money for it, and I won't do it. See, that's cool. That's very, very cool. And then I did get, and I don't have it anymore because I think I gave it to a friend. I did get the $1 Billion Babies album, Axe, which I'm like, I don't know. Originally, it showed promise, but it's not that great of an album. It doesn't suck ass completely, but it's middling at times. Okay. I remember for, I want to say, a couple years, and if I knew about this, I want to say it was in the 80s. Michael Bruce lived in the Chicagoland area, but I can't. There's such a weird story, and I'm going to use the word allegedly in this, okay? Because I don't want anybody coming back on my ass and go, you said, well, okay, so, but I can tell you this much. So in the good old days of Goldmine, back when Goldmine was a better magazine than it is now, okay, I should be all right now. It was a little hot in here. I did my laundry. So there was some there was a gold mine ad. So you went to the back, because that's when they would do all the ads. And Michael Bruce put an ad in. I don't know if it was under his name. I think it could have been under M. Bruce, or it could have been another party, but it was him. And it had to do with some rare 45s from the Spiders, which of course was what Alice Cooper band was before. It was either the Spiders or the Nas, because if you remember, they cut a 45 under that also before they were like, oh shit, there's a real band called Nas, we got to change the name. But I want to say it was the Spiders, all right? And so there was a limited amount of stock copies, like a warehouse find or whatever you want to call it, distributor find. And Michael or his party was selling these 45s for, I don't want to say a ridiculous amount of money, but it wasn't cheap for the 1980s. Well, supposedly the story came out years later that all those 45s were fake. And supposedly there might have been mail fraud charges getting thrown around. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't have any Alice on vinyl after. Oh boy. I hate to say this, I think Zipper Catches Skin is like my last Alice vinyl, because I don't have any of the MCA stuff. The Epic stuff, 2 albums on Epic, right? Hey Stupid, and then the other one. I know those are on vinyl. I've seen them, but they were way expensive. I just could not deal with that. I couldn't. And speaking of that, I came across a reasonably priced 12-inch promo single on Epic of Alice doing I've Got a Line on You. Maybe I should go grab that up. I didn't mind his version. I liked Spirit, but I did not mind that version at all. I thought that was actually pretty good. But yeah, so all kinds of fun. All kinds of glorious fun. I've got more stuff to actually show you guys, if you'll permit me. I'm trying to think here if I had anything else that I'm forgetting. But so that was my record adventure for today. I did get to go through hundreds and hundreds of 45s, which I love 45s. Oh. I have in one day I've looked at, I don't really think I'm exaggerating anything here, but probably I could say probably in one day I probably went through between 800 and 1,000 45s, and my mind just like went on fateful lock and said I can't do anymore. Oh, nice. I did. Okay, now I knew about Detroit Stories. I didn't know Dirty Diamonds was on album. That is my only Alice Cooper autograph. Is I've got a signed Dirty Diamonds CD when I went. Okay, good. Thank you for showing up. Now, in case you're wondering, he's awesome. Very, very awesome here. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm not on all cylinders. I haven't been all day. But he wants to hear the Cher Peterson story. So, see, who's that, Fox guy? Well, we're going to tell you in a minute, but let me go get some more coffee, okay? Some more coffee. I'm going to go and unplug myself here for a second. I'm going to pull a Michael Scott and go. That's what she said. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. He's talking about Cher Peterson from Contraband. Hang on. Oh, boy, babe. I got a line on you, babe. You know, if I ever get professional, ha ha ha, someday when I have to step away, like if I got to go to the bathroom or something, I'll have to come up with some incidental music or the old school, having technical difficulties, please stand by. Ah, shit. This is a tight clamp. That's what she said. I'm horrible. All right. So, I see. Yeah, I've got maybe several milk crates. And, yes, she was the sexy as hell bass player for Vixen. Rev it up indeed. Good. Grab an adult beverage and come right back. Understood. Okay, so the Cher Peterson story. So Cher Peterson, of course, as he said, the sexy bass player from Vixen and unfortunate party to the Contraband album. So Cher Peterson. Let me just backpedal a little here, okay? So, as I mentioned in the new Jukebox from Hell episode, and if you did watch it, I know Fox Guy did because he commented and a few others. And you know what? I'm sorry that I'm not good with the first names today, so everybody gets channels here that I mentioned. So, yes, see, you get yours too, John. And get your beverage. So. Richard Black, I put in the video the Richard Black interview from Mitch LaFon talking about Contraband and Shark Island, okay? And he went off and mentioned that after the Contraband album came out, so now you're looking at, if I remember correctly, it's late 91, the tour is going. And so they wanted to do this tour with Rat and LA Guns. Okay, so Rat and LA Guns would have been on the bill, and they were on the bill in 91. All right, so this had to have been before the Detonator LP, which is another good album from Rat. So they wanted to headline Contraband, which I'm like, oh God, what a big mistake. And even Richard said that too. Now, saying that, this Contraband CD, all 5, so Shark Island, Vixen, LA Guns, Rat, Michael Schenker, were all managed by the same dude at the time, okay? The same dude who also got the same record deal for them, all right? So he's got his fingers tied into everything. That's good. That's good. I'll give you points for that. So they do the tour, and remember, Contraband only had one album. They were going to headline over Rat and LA Guns, who at least had a few albums under their belt already. So they're getting ready to get the tour all set up. And here's the thing. So Richard goes off and says, firstly, that album is recorded separately. Like all the parts for the album were recorded separately. They were not together in the same room. This is what Richard Black allegedly said. It's in the video, so he said it. So he also said when the tour was starting, that Cher Peterson was not going to be on the tour. Okay? So you were going to have everybody else from Contraband, but no Cher Peterson. Why no Cher Peterson? Because, quote, and this wasn't for Richard, but for another one of the band members, we don't want a girl on the tour bus. That was the reason. Really? Really? So, for the tour, they double-dipped Juan Krauscher from Rat, plays bass on the tour, the short-lived tour. So, I want to say shortly after the whole Contraband affair, Cher leaves Vixen, or Vixen breaks up. Fox Guy, maybe you could tell, right? I don't know what to tell you. It's something. So, hi, Greg. So, the thing is that Vixen either breaks up or she leaves Vixen. I'm not sure which happened first. So in the 90s, so from December 91 to 2001, I lived in Harvard, Illinois. Okay, and so being in Harvard, Illinois, being a on and off radio DJ and trying to get back into the swing of things, I used to listen to and at that time it was a great station. I heard not so much now. It's still around, out of Rockford, Illinois, called 104.9 The X. That's right. They had a lot of great DJs at the time. Some of them were meh, but I would listen. Like they had Bob and Tom on in the mornings, okay? And then from 10 to 2, like I would listen from 10 o'clock in the morning all the way till probably 10 at night. So saying that, yeah, I lived in Harvard, unfortunately, Harvard, Illinois. And, yeah, I couldn't park my car in that yard, but I got my coffee. So for a few years, there was a very, now, I did meet her. There was a DJ by the name of Mean Gene Taylor. Mean Gene Taylor on the X in Rockford, Illinois. And I met her. Very cute. Very, sometimes hot, if you will. So, Bucks guy, you're right. This was, I want to say, mid to late 90s. All right? Well, some news got leaked out that Mean Gene Taylor was not her real name. Mean Gene Taylor was Cher Peterson from Vixen. And I'm going, what? So, I mean, I did meet her at, because you know how they do radio station remotes. So I did technically meet Cher Peterson a couple times as Mean Gene Taylor on the X. But I called her up. After she said this. I saw Vixen in 89 and 90. She left in 92. Thank you very much for telling me that. So I don't know when after 92. Like I said, oh God. Can somebody look up real quick, Fox guy, will you do me a favor and look up real quick when the album release for, I think it was called Orange, the album from Vixen, I think was called Orange, when that got released, because this is the timeline to the story, okay? I didn't expect to really go deep. You guys know I yacky yak, and I already lost a few people probably from my yappy yappy. I see that now. But so Royce, how you doing? I went off and mentioned, please, there's one final week left in Royce's contest. Go check it out. Royce, I'm telling you, I'm trying here. I've had a very, up and down couple weeks. Health problems between me and me and the girlfriend having health problems. I'm having health problems. Trying to deal with work, trying to deal with other things. So, but I do want to shoot a video, and I'm hoping to do it before your deadline because it is a cool video. So go check that out. So, Cher Peterson, known as Mean Gene Taylor on the X. So the news gets released a little earlier than she wanted because she was going to put her notice in at the X that she was leaving because she was reuniting with Vixen. She blurted all this out. She goes, my name's Cher Peterson. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, the woman that I met probably about 4 to 5 times over the 90s was Cher Peterson. How I couldn't put 2 and 2 together is beyond me. That's it. Thank you. Tangerine. Thank you. Yes. You get points today too. 98. Okay. So thank you. I love you guys. You guys you are so helpful. All of you are helpful. So Tangerine, thank you. So it came out in 98. So she is not on the Tangerine album. All right, but they were going to do a tour for Tangerine. She got back in the band. That's how she ended up back in Vixen. Yeah, well, she ended up going, like I said, I think it was after the Tangerine release, she ended up going back in. Maybe it was just for a short time. Point of the matter is, she went off and mentioned it, and yeah, and then so she let it be known. So I called her. I called her later in her shift, and I said, hey, you know, we met a handful of times. Not to be too personal, I mean, how long do you think you're going to be there? Because is it all right if I send, you know, into the office? Because I knew where all these offices were. I used to win shit all the time, and I was a radio station prize hog, okay? I knew the 30-day rule, but I knew all the offices, and I knew a lot of the DJs at all these stations too. And I said, would it be okay if I, you know, brought the CD covers for your Vixen albums? She said, certainly. Well, I guess something happened because she ended up exiting earlier than the notice. So I never did get Cher's autograph. She just turned 60. Oh, boy. So there's my Cher Peterson story. She started a husband with her band Bubble. Did they do anything? Did they make it like any music? Hey, yeah, Royce, are you going live tomorrow? Well, we all want to know. So there's my Cher Peterson story. I got lots of goofy ass stories in my life. I've met a lot of people in my life. Some people have gone off truthfully and said, you know, Paul, you ought to write a book. And I'm like, nobody would buy the damn thing, not even my mom. But, you know, it's all right. It's all okay. So you want to see some more finds? You want to see some more stuff I picked up? Now, this stuff here isn't going to be records because I just showed that already. Well, thank you, George. You're too kind, to be honest with you. You're too kind. And you know what, Manny, you're too kind, too. I try to keep things interesting. I'll tell you that right now because you know what, guys? Unlike certain channels on this VC land and YouTube, I'm not going to play politics. I don't play favorites. I don't play politics. Genealogy is interesting, but I'm not going to talk about it for half an hour. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about pop culture. I want to talk about you guys. I do. You guys are what makes the show, not me. All right? See. Yes, I am. Former co-host Lou Mars returns with his new band and an awesome video. Royce, what time Central Standard are you going to do? Because believe it or not, I think that's half the reason why I went and did. Oh, here we go. See, I ask and he delivers. 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube, right there at Royce in the House. Personally, I feel the finest live channels in the VC are the ones without wrenches. I don't believe in wrenches. Now, saying that, I won't let people get away with shit either. I'm not in the mood for that. You know what? No, you guys make the show. I don't. I just like doing this stuff. That's all I can tell you. I am a nerd. I never thought okay, I know I'm going to bore you guys for a minute, but if, you know, I'm going to be 56 in September. So if, you know, for 2 seconds, if 56-year-old me would have gone back in time and told the 9 to 10-year-old who at night would have the flashlight, the comic books, the lights are off, the earbud is in with the transistor radio, and I'm listening to either WLS or Super CFL in Chicago, and I'm having the time of my life, and I would just go, and I guess it'd be creepy if a 56-year-old man was checking in on a 9-year-old, but it's me, so I'm allowed. And I'd say, look, when you get to be my old ass age, there's going to be a thing called YouTube. And even if you can't get on the radio, my friend, you're going to at least have somewhere to yippee yap about the things that you love and your memories and such. Thank you. You know what? You're great too. And I'm not just saying that either. All you guys are pretty damn awesome. Oh, 8:30 on time. Good. Thank you, because it doesn't work too well up here anymore. I kind of feel a bit more special. Really? When for you? Like I said, September 27th for me, as I'm revealing out all my personal information. I have a young married friend who's turning 36. He says he feels old. I told him I'm sure I have underwear older than yikes. I may have a concert shirt or two older than him, but I can't hold to that. I just can't. All right. I got some DVD files. I love this show. I do. I would love to have every box set of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Volume 11, complete, nice and minty, on Rhino Records, well, Rhino Home Video. Awesome. That's great. August 18th. 70? Oh, dude, you got it. You got us. You're over all of us. You're over all of us. Now, this, unfortunately, I ended up having to pay $14, but like I said, I don't come across sets like this often. They just do not happen. I know. Oh, I love that show. I do. Now, I like both Joel and Mike, but I'll tell you the truth. I was more of a Joel guy than Mike. All right, and the new stuff, I helped in the Kickstarter campaign, and I'd say only a couple episodes were great. Your age is just a number. You're only as old as you feel. Okay. How about a Don Knotts 4-pack? Oh, this buck a piece for these next two. Four Don Knotts movies for $1. You're talking about The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Oh, I love that. The Reluctant Astronaut, The Shakiest Gun in the West, and The Love God. That's right, Don Knotts, The Love God. So I got that for his doll hair. Yeah, that's right. No mystery, no size. It is just great. Yeah, he was funny as hell. I would have loved to have met him. I really, exactly. One of the last things that Don Knotts did before he died, and if you don't know about this, go check it out here on YouTube. Robot Chicken. They did a Scooby-Doo parody, and it's Don Knotts and Phyllis Diller. It's their real voices, and I love that the Freddy character, when Phyllis Diller goes off and says something about him being fruity, that's what Phyllis Diller tells Freddy, and Freddy goes, "It's an ascot, you old whore, an ascot." I'm just like, that's great. Later this year, I'm going to see The Funniest Man in America. Oh, yes. And James Gregory Manny was just here. I think he was just here in the last 60 days in the next town over. Seriously, I do need to go see him. I have seen some of the bits on YouTube. I will go see him. He loves coming here, by the way. I guess the Grove in Laurel, Arkansas is one of his favorite places to play when he can. In 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks, who might Psyko meet next at the Comedy Club? Mr. Pauly Shore. That's right. The Weasel. It's the Leaning Tower of Chisa. Woo! He will be here. And so I've got my Pauly Shore stuff off to the side. I'm waiting, and hopefully, usually I'm pretty good at getting the autographs at least. Can't guarantee I'll get a picture with Pauly. I hope so, but at least hopefully I'll get some Pauly Shore autographs. And yes. Oh, good. If you're gonna go, check that out. I think you're gonna like that. I did catch that. I did catch them through a tour a few years back. I've seen them. I've seen Rain is another nice one. I don't know about American English anymore, but I remember seeing the original lineup of American English because two of those guys went down to Branson for Liverpool Legends. That's how I got to meet Louise Harrison many, many years ago. Rest in peace. And then lastly here, I'm taking a guess on this dollar here, okay, includes 5 episodes of the classic TV show Howdy Doody. It's howdy doody time. The bombs have hit the Rhine. No, that's not how that goes, but I'm not writing here, kids. But I'm basing by the color shots on the back that this is from the 70s, the late 70s version when Buffalo Bob lived down in Florida and he went and shot it. It was syndicated. I'm going up to Connecticut to visit my buddy. He says he's got tickets for us to see Lewis Black in Worcester. Nice. Hang on a second. Now I feel real stupid. Hang on a second, since I'm leaving this up here for a reason, okay? Hang on a second. You know, this just kind of goes to show you how observant or unobservant Psycho is. And, you know, I'll admit when I make mistakes, okay? I really, really do. All right, I subbed to you too. I did not know you had a channel. Captain Horizontal, huh? Oh boy, Captain Horizontal. Oh yeah, I'll have to. Uh-oh, what? Oh wow. So 3 minutes ago, actor shockingly admits he was wrong. Elites will cancel him for this. It's Rainn Wilson, by the way. So Dwight must have boo-booed somewhere, or maybe he wised up. I don't know. Anyway, so I subbed to you too. Yes, I feel so bad. And you know what, though? I got to tell you something. Just to let some of you people know, as I have previously said, I do shout outs to the channels that subscribe to me on the next available live stream. Some of them are shown in the lists, some are not. So if you guys think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. I just don't remember if I've said your name before, Manoff. So yeah, I know it's you, Mike. Now I don't know why you did that, but yeah, I figured it out like about 10 minutes ago. Well, I subbed you anyway, because that's just how it works around here. Like I said, I don't care what anybody says. No drama, no nothing. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's shift this a second. Since you're up here, and I know you like the Marx Brothers, but let's talk about something else that is old-timey, film-related. Will you allow me to do that? Let's entertain some things here. Guess what's getting some beautiful Blu-ray treatment? Oh, I may have to get these. Oh, I might have to get these. This information courtesy of John Tefteller. We're talking about John Tefteller, that famous record collector and seller. Now, this isn't his project, but he announced this, that all of the silent Laurel and Hardy movies, except for the one that's lost. I suppose there's one lost one. But all of the silent Laurel and Hardy movies have been cleaned up, restored, and are getting to go to Blu-ray. That's right, this year. And I'm going, woo, you might have, and like that Futurama, take my money, because that is going to be fun. Now, Walrus has got an excellent channel. I remember that. And hit the bell. Ding! Oh, heck, is hats off the missing? Oh, okay, so it's everything but obviously that. Well, I guess you're not going to have to wait very much longer. I don't know when, supposedly between now and the end of the year. All right, so I too will be getting that because I've never seen them. I've never seen any of the Silence of Laurel and Hardy. None of them. So there. And also, just to throw this out there, you're welcome. If you have a Barnes & Noble near you, if anybody's got a Barnes & Noble, you 9 people that are watching, okay, 8 because one of you left and got bored. Or had to see the record auction or go to Rice Paddy or go to the whatever. So if you've got a Barnes & Noble near you, I am now told that at least at the store level, not online that I know of, but at the store level, they are having 50% off all the Criterion titles because they're going to get rid of them in the store. They will not be carrying them anymore, I guess, within the next few weeks. I do not know the reason behind it. I am just telling you this. Do you know how Stanley ended up with that cowlick that wouldn't go down? It's when they shaved their heads to play convicts in the second 100 years. Oh, my. And it grew. Ah, that's funny. That is funny. I like that. I met I met a Laurel and Hardy impersonator duo in the mid 1970s. I think they were even in a couple commercials. It was those two that I met. And when I was a kid, I got their autographs. I think they actually signed them their real names, but then they put in parentheses Stan or Ollie. Okay, so yeah, so I would say if there was any Criterion that you guys would be looking for, I would say try to snatch it up because it might get to be a little bit more difficult. I can do Stanley pretty good, even his face. I am, after all, a man of many voices. That's right. That's absolutely right. Speaking of actors and singers, so let me show you. I ended up having more books than this, but I doled out a couple to Donna Jo Cat Lady. I found a nice original copy of Steve Martin's Cruel Shoes, that small book, but I gave that to her already. But I did end up with, I never saw this one. This one's going to go out to my son, Mike. He loves Tony Bennett. Life is a Gift. These were $1 a piece. And Peter Fonda's Don't Tell Dad. Yeah, Don't Tell Dad. So I got those. $1 a piece. Cannot screw that up, even if I tried. Hi, Dwayne. How you doing? How you doing? We're all hanging here. We're all hanging here for a little bit more, a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe the next 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Let's see. And then I got $1.99 CD finds. Excuse me. Although I'm not going to show you the last one because that one will be a future Jukebox from Hell episode. In case you guys are coming in late on this one. So, like I said, episode 8 was the Contraband album, all right, which is up there now on my channel. If you're bored, go take a peeky at that or any of the other episodes. You know, the most popular one of the 8 so far was that Peter Criss's Out of Control. That one got over 300 views. I was like very pleased about that. The Osmonds and the Ringo ones, they got about 150 views apiece. And there's just other fun stuff too. The Van Halen 3 one's finally starting to get some steam, which, by the way, if you guys haven't heard this, the Van Hagar stuff is coming out in, I am led to believe, in deluxe treatment. They will be in the future. I mean, the record store day, what was it, 4 LP right here, right now? came out, but yes, that's right. That is absolutely right. Tony Bennett is awesome, and you know, I'm glad he's still with us, but he's in his 90s. Well, you'll have to watch that video to figure out what the new monkeys were. And you know what? I'll tell you something. Even that got picked up some steam. Facebook decided to be a douche to me last week. Okay, they wouldn't share my damn videos, and I'm going, what the hell did I do? I don't recall doing any dumbassery. So I'm like, F you, Facebook. So finally, they went off, and I was allowed to. So some people got to see them. I got some nice comments. I got some nice comments on that one too. Yes, I know there's obviously some people that are not Kiss fans here. Man off many voices, but you know, it's okay. Yeah, I wish I could say that. Hey, Michael Bublé duetted with Tony Bennett. Of course, let's see now. Tony's done what? 2 albums with Lady Gaga, or is it 3? I don't know. I lost count. I mean, I heard, what was it? I heard the music video. I saw that, and I thought they sounded great together. I really did. Am I going to buy them? No, but it's nice to know that there still can be some nice music out, you know? You're guaranteed with that with Tony Bennett, that's for sure. Now, I got to, my son loves Tony Bennett, okay? And I was able to get a signed book of Tony's to give to my son, so I was happy about that. Well, you know what, Dwayne? I don't want to leave the cat out of the bag, but there is going to be another Kiss-related episode coming up. Yes, that's right, in Jukebox from Hell. I'll be doing seasons. I'll be doing 10 episodes a season, pretty much. And I know that I kind of did a teaser. It was a very quick teaser because my battery ran out. But episode 9 will be the 1985 Todd Rundgren produced album, The Tubes' Love Bomb. Now, originally that was going to be earlier in the queue of 10 because I did have these things plotted out. But then Grant's Rock Warehouse decided to do a forum, if you will, on this album. So I said, shit, I don't want to go off and either A, piss on his parade, or B, I don't want people to think, oh, now he's just copycatting. No, if you could see the original cue sheet of how I had my 10 videos, you would have saw that it was like going to be like episode 3 or 4, but that's okay. You'll figure it out. Yeah, see, R-rated. But so what I'm looking at is getting a 3 CD set. Come join my orchestra, the British Baroque pop sound. That actually sounds pretty cool, to tell you the truth. It really, really does. So episode 9 will be The Tubes' Love Bomb from 1985, and then episode 10 to finish off the first season will be definitely an album that is worth talking about. Just going to tell you that. Early 80s. That's your only hint you're getting. All right, so CD finds. I ended up finding, these were all $1.99 a piece. These are the remasters, but I've got Zep 3. You know, I could not pass up for $1.98. I wasn't going to pass this up. You know, this album, I remember buying this album, obviously not brand new. I think the first Zeppelin album I got brand new was either Presence or In Through the Outdoors. So I was a latecomer because I was only like 10 to 12 years old during that time frame. Yes, Completion Backwards Principle is a really good album. I would recommend that to you. I would recommend that over Outside Inside, even though I do like some of the parts of Outside Inside. Yes, see, and really? Okay, yeah, fine. That's episode 10. How did you damn figure out that that's... I didn't even leave many clues. See, I can't even keep a secret. Nobody else do an elder one for the next couple of weeks, because I'm dealing with that. Now everyone's going to do an elder review. Yeah, exactly. You know, and Royce, you know, you're up here, so let me just mention this to you, okay? If you ever come across, but I really want it in physical media, I don't even care if it's like burned CDs or whatever. If you've got any of that stuff from 80, the live stuff, like the last 2 shows in July of 80 from Germany, in other words, the last gigs, I would love to somehow get a hold of those. Somebody tried to give me a WAV file, and for some reason, it only worked for a few minutes, and then it just crapped out. But I would love to get, you know, some of that stuff, because that gives you a taste of what Zeppelin would have sounded like if they would have gone into the early 80s. I was the perfect age for Zepp. 15 when they first came out. My first was Zepp 2. 21 when you were in high school. Zepp 3, yes, you have that, which I do have vinyl copies of every Zepp album that was released. My cousin was 14, almost 15 at 69. The first he bought was Zeppelin 2. One of those, they were such great damn records. I was stuck in Boston Children's Hospital for nearly all of my late teens. The good thing was going to the record store called The Coop every once in a while. Saw a lot of Zepp then. Paul, I'll keep my... Yeah, thank you very much, please. My cousin was born in 54. Yeah, so, I mean, Zepp obviously was in my universe before 1977, which, like I said, might have been the... You know, I think I bought Presents brand new. I know definitely I got in through the Outdoor brand new, so I was 12 when that came out. But I want to say that album, I remember staring at that Presents album with the obelisks, and I'm going, what the hell? You know, and I'm like, because you're trying to figure this out. And if I remember correctly, that was a Hypnosis album concept or sleeve or something like that. But I started going backwards on all the stuff. And I know that, okay, when Coda came out in 82, yeah, oh boy, when Coda came out in late 82, I was excited to get it, because I'm like going, I didn't think there was, you know, obviously this was unreleased Zepp. But, you know, I mean, after the long-winded concert story of the aborted concerts from 80, when I was supposed to go on my belated 13th birthday, to have at least one last testament, I don't know, for some reason I felt satisfied that at least that came out. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, any of your favorite bands, if something bad happens, and then you get, even if it's a few years down the line, you get one last album from that artist, and you're like, oh, you know, it was almost like welcoming them back home in your heart. Do you understand what I'm saying? I go long-winded. I remember hearing the Crunge on the radio in the 70s when my dad was driving around. Where is that confounded blasted bridge? You know, God, what a kick-ass album. What a kick-ass album. And I'll tell you, I know some people have asked me, did I ever get any Ludwigs? I could have. I could have, okay? But I didn't know about the Ludwig master type stuff until, I don't know, the last decade, okay? I could have had a Robert Ludwig and not even known it. I have the new Yardbirds, the Zepp lineup before they branded themselves Led Zeppelin, thanks to Keith Moon and John Wentz's Whistle of the Who. That's right. Don't you hate when people do? Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. So, $1.98 Zepp 3. So, in my opinion, and just my strong opinion here, from Zepp 1 all the way through, and including This album, Physical Graffiti, 1975, double disc, nice and clean, $1.98. Oh yes, so many good things on here. So Stairway to Heaven, I love it. I'll listen to it once a year. But Kashmir, for some reason, doesn't get boring to me. That is a perfect car song. This whole album is great. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have a CD player currently. I do have one that needs to get installed, but I cannot wait. Because I remember when I had CD players, and I didn't have these. These were like, I had the 80s versions of the CDs, or 90s. And I would play this really loud so everyone around me could hear it. Oh God! Oh no! Not this. We don't need that. If I recall my own, yes. It's supposed to be an old joke. I brought my wife on vacation recently. Did I make her? No, she came of her own free will. Yes, honest to God, I think it's one of the best albums. But to me, that's where. So that first album up to and including that was like their big body of work. Okay. I'm not knocking Presence, and I'm not knocking In Through the Outdoor, okay? But obviously there was a lot of personal stuff going on, obviously, okay? So for them to be able to even do those two albums surprised the hell out of me. I think if Bonham would have lived, I think, like, okay, because with In Through the Outdoor being such a Robert Plant, John Paul Jones-centric album due to Jimmy and Bonzo were overindulging, I think it would have swung right back. I could see, like in 81, 82, they would have come back with a hard, crunchy, early 80s Zeppelin album. Just that's my prediction. Obviously, I can be a musical armchair quarterback all I want. I love the Yardbirds. I do. I have every American LP except for For Your Love. That's the only one I'm still looking for, but I have all the other ones. I'm starting to try to get original, the English ones. Yeah. Looked for a clean copy of Elton John's Yellow Brick Road for a year. They were always beat up. Isn't that the truth? Bought a new one the very next day. I found a pristine copy for $24. Bought it also. Don't you hate that when that happens? I can't afford very much of that. You got that right. You got that right. Those first two albums, oh my God. Well, yeah, okay. I get what you're saying on that, all right. I do. It's still always going to be a piece of my heart, though, Coda, for what I just told you. Yep, Zep 1 and Zep 2 kick ass. Jimi Hendrix, oh, love Jimmy. That's what Jimmy Page and Bonham had in mind, more heavier sound. I think, honestly, like I said, 81, 82, it would have swung back, and you would have had this in your face for early 80s. It would have put everybody else to shame, to be honest with you. All right, so let's see. I try to look for this band, and sometimes I always pray to find an autograph, because he signed these CDs sometimes. And he was a staple in Branson, Missouri for quite some time. But this 2005 Rocking the Raiders Live, Paul Revere and the Raiders, of course. This lineup here, you are looking at the only other one, so you don't have your classic Raiders. You've got Omar Martinez, who showed up, and if I remember correctly, he drums an itty bitty bit on the Country Wine album, but not much. But he becomes a member like in late 72, early 73, and then stays for many, many years. And there's some other band members on this that were on the final Columbia Records 45s, okay? But unfortunately, no autograph in this. Darren Medley Bill Medley's kid is the lead singer in this particular CD. Excuse me a minute. Who is pinging me? Who is pinging me? Oh, I'll deal with that later. And then lastly, one of these 90s bands that doesn't get enough brought up. Sorry, what the heck? Okay, got that. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I showed the Lulu one earlier with John Paul Jones arranging. That's one. Gold. You know, anytime, and there is a radio station that plays Goldfinger, I'll change it to Mold Finger. His finger's made of mold. But my favorite bit on the Goldfinger, and I'm sorry, I don't know the English impressionist, but he imitates Ringo. And he's talking about how that he originally wrote a song for the song Goldfinger for Goldfinger movie. And I like this stupid little parts. Yeah. His name is Goldfinger. Some like bronze, some like silver. It's really stupid, but it's funny. And you got to catch that. I have 5 live Yardbirds. The Yardbirds live with Sonny Boy Williamson. See, now I do need to get an English Roger the Engineer. I do have the other ones. That 5 live Yardbirds is awesome. Stone's Heart of Stone. Yes, they were. Hello, Mr. Tim Allen. How are you? Long time no see. Oh, I did not know he worked with Jackie DeShannon. I'm going to have to look at that too. I never dissed Bonzo. I think Bonzo was one of the best damn drummers. Him, Keith Moon, Ringo. Yes, definitely. There you go. That's right. Okay. For Hurdy Gurdy Man, it's 3/4 Zeppelin. It turns out that Bonzo is on there too. So yeah, Paige Jones and Bonham are on Hurdy Gurdy Man. And then there's an album they did. Oh geez, I want to say. Oh, help me out here, people. PJ Proby. Am I wrong on this? Like late 68. Late 68. They back him up on the whole album. I think Plant even does harmonica. He doesn't sing, but yeah. I forgot about Ginger Baker. You know, if Mophie Baker comes near you, by the way, and I guess he stopped at Mary's place in Rockford, Illinois recently, and I think he performed with Bunny Carlos from Cheap Trick. But currently in Mophie's band is guitarist Bobby Massano. Bobby Massano, if I remember right, was in the band Stars briefly. He's on an album. Massano's been around a very long time. Very underrated drummer. I saw that documentary of his, and I just thought, yeah, seriously, I think you'll dig it. Played Bleed. That's right. Didn't he play? Yep, even You Really Got Me, although Paige won't admit it. And if I remember correctly, although I don't know, this has been disputed on and off, I could have sworn that they said that Paige was on the Who's I Can't Explain, but then they're like, no, he's not on I Can't Explain. He's on the Flip Bald-Headed Woman. So I don't know, but the point of the matter is Paige did that one too. But it's fun. Even Jimmy went off and I think said in an interview, he goes, good God, he goes, I don't know. There's more. He goes, I couldn't even tell you how many sessions I was on. And some of them maybe were not even properly cataloged, so we may not even ever know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm not a scholar on Zeppelin or solo stuff, Dwayne, but I don't know. Ringo was a great drummer for the Beatles, but well, yes, but Ringo was a good 4 on the floor, and I like that. Ray Davies told me that Jimmy Page wasn't. Okay, well then maybe, yeah, well he ought to know he was in the room, right? So then great. Speaking of, did you see that there is I think Ray and Dave recently got together for some little video for the Kinks' 60th anniversary celebration. Maybe we're going to see some fun. Anything produced by Shel Talmy is full of session players. It's just the way he worked. Yeah. So, and then lastly for the CD finds, maybe a lot of you people may not really remember these guys. I showed a few episodes ago how I found the excellent CD from Raging Slab. And if you don't know who that is from the early 90s, go look them up. They got an Allman Brothers / Dixie Drexit times / I don't know, maybe a little Government Mule at times. But Raging Slab was really interesting. Take a Hold was my favorite song from them. And I also found Cry of Love, which is another excellent early 90s band to go tackle. Well, I also found Sweet Vine. This is on Columbia Records. I bought this, okay, I didn't buy it brand new. This one, obviously, I didn't get brand new. But when I found it in a clearance rack by the mid-90s for 99 cents, I used to go and buy all kinds. I like the way they did it this way, though. I just like the old school on that. But go check out Sweet Vine. I think you will dig it. Not like dig 'em as in Sugar Smack dig 'em, but like you'll dig 'em. I know, right? I know you said you rarely use Facebook, but oh boy, like I said, look up John Tefteller. Okay, he explained it like 2 to 3 days ago. I have 4 or 5 Yardbirds, London 63, first recording, Golden Eggs, Greatest Hits, and one other. Yeah, I have only come across once For Your Love. I found it in a little, okay, it wasn't so little, it was a big junk shop in central Missouri. I made me and my bestie Donna Jo Cat Lady, my executive producer, we went up to central Missouri and I found it amongst all these hundreds of records. I'm like, holy crap. I go to the counter because I couldn't find the price, and it turned out it was $49. It was super duper clean, and it was a mono. And I wanted this thing so bad. And I just was like, I was praying. I said, would he be able to make a deal? Because for some reason she had him on the phone. Because I wasn't going to pay $50. Sorry, I just wasn't. I didn't have $50, nor was I going to do it. I'm kind of a cheap ass. I'll either, the only time I sometimes get high dollar records is if I'm trading. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Unfortunately, they only were willing to cut it down 10%. So I could not make the deal. I wasn't going to pull the trigger. Yep, good old 6i. That's right. That's right. You got the spelling right. Hey, Yoko. I mean, it's very interesting, your emoji. I know you brought this up in your last broadcast you were on, but I just had to. So I don't have any Beatles related stuff, but how about some Monkees related stuff? It's my favorite band. Of course I'm going to go off and I'm going to show you some Monkee stuff. But you know what? I'm going to admit, John says hi. I'm going to admit I'm a little late to the game on this. But deepdiscount.com had a sale. I pulled the trigger. I couldn't afford the vinyl. There was no way in hell I could afford the vinyl. From what number is this chip? 7A. But you already are going to know there's going to be future review episodes. There's going to be review episodes coming up of Davy Jones' Manchester Boy Personal File. Now, I know it came out in late 2020. All right. I know it did. But it will get reviewed. I'm telling you right now. From 7A. Also, and some people complained about this. Not to me, mind you. Yeah, see, there you go. I love Cream. I do. And Blind Faith. In fact, I came across today, actually, Royce. I didn't get them. I may go back. Baker Gervit's Army. I found 2 albums. I don't have any in my collection. I don't. Oh, boy. Don't start. Don't start. I know you're teasing. And you know what? How about this for a very weird fact? Mitch Mitchell, for 2 seconds, auditioned for Wings in '73. Could you imagine that? Not me. I picked up a Super Clean Mini OG German first pressing. I mean, oh, look at what? $3? Shit, that's the best deal of the day, Tim. I know you're kidding. But like I said, some people complained, and I guess I can understand this, that the price point on this should have been a little lower. But I got the EP, and this is an EP, I can say that, I'm not being a smartass. The EP of Peter Tork's This Stuff Never Gets Old from 7A. So these will both be reviewed shortly down the pipe. I know, better late than never. I've got so many things I need to review. I don't know if I'll be dead and there'll still be things I need to review. My brother bought me to see. There you go. There you go. I haven't played my copy in forever. Exactly. Yep, that's right. I love Peter. That didn't sound right, but I know I'm going on that. Like I said, I met Davey, Mickey, and Peter separately over the years. I even got a smile and a wave from Mike Nesmith, but I never got to meet Mike. Let's see. I got to shake Davey's hand, and I got to give him half a hug. Mickey was just too damn busy. He was at a con. And Peter was just a little strange that day. But whatever. But Mike, I would have just loved to have hugged Mike. I know it would have been creepy, but you know what? I love all 4 of them. I always will. I love 8 men in my life, ladies and gentlemen. And their names are John, Paul, George, Ringo, Mike, Mickey, Davey, and Peter. That's my 8 men. And of course, my assorted male children and grandchildren. Oh my! All right, we're not going there. You know what? And yes. I'm told that at least Mitch had a decent relationship with Jimmy all the way to the end. Can't say that about Noel. No, can't say. And you know, I saw interview pieces of Noel. He was still being a partial dickhead after Hendrix died. It's like, let it go, dude. Let it go. Jeez. Ramatam. Yeah, there's one for you. That's right. Mitch is on that first one. And if I remember correctly, isn't Mike Panera on there on that first album? I had Ramatam. I had both of them, actually. A lot of drama between the first album and that second album. Dawn of Early Light, I think, or whatever, something, the second one. But yeah, that first Ramatam, oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was damn murdered. He was damn murdered, and we know who was behind that crap. Or at least some of it, okay? I am not going to profess to be the Hendrix expert. I'm just saying. And I don't even think we can go allegedly anymore since this man's been dead, I think, 50 years. Mike Jeffrey. That's right. Mike Jeffrey and a handful of other people orchestrated this crap because Mike Jeffrey loved to gamble. And I'm told the mob was after him. There was a bunch of different things. He took out a life insurance policy on Hendrix. Yeah. Big mess right there. Yep, that's right. That's what I heard too. Really? Well, good. Okay, I don't want to knock. I'm not going to knock Noel as a human being. I'm just saying from what I heard, him and Jimmy. Well, there was some abrasiveness. We'll just like that. Yeah, that's what I heard. You know, that almost reminds me of that scene in Caligula. Only adults here should watch Caligula. Yep, that's what I heard. Yep, also what I heard. In fact, I thought I heard that he was trying to get Chaz Chandler back as his manager. I don't know how true that is on that, but I think he would have obviously been in better hands with Chaz back in the fold. I mean, such a waste, such a damn waste. Okay, and I honestly hate it that the uneducated in the rock journalism and the rock music circles and even common music fans go, isn't that pity how Hendrix had a drug-related death? No, it wasn't a drug-related death, jackass. Look at this stuff. Same thing for Brian Jones from the Stones. He was murdered. But Brian was a douche too. That's what I heard. Noel and Chaz were old school. One take Jimmy liked to overdub and take after take. That's why Chaz walked to. Oh, well, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, what was it? Hendrix was a perfectionist, right? But then he could jam like there was no other. So, I don't know. I think we all can agree that Hendrix loved to live in the studio. That's why we had so much product, so much from 66 to 70, for God's sakes. But you kind of get half excited for the woulda, coulda, shouldas in the parallel musical universes. In the parallel musical universe somewhere, Hendrix did cut that album with Miles Davis in 1971-72. He did end up jamming in HELP, Hendrix, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is in the alternate musical universe. And you know what? The music would have been just fine. That's right. And that's what it, yeah, and even Brian Jones called John Lennon after the letting go, and he's like, "Hey, let's form a band." You know, Sean, I have read a lot of Hendrix books, but for the life of me, I don't know if I read that one. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he is dead. But I did hear, if I remember correctly, that there was some kind of a deathbed confession that the guy did admit that it was him that held his hand, you know, underwater. And I'm just like going, the Brian era of the Stones, you know, I want to say that's my favorite era, but my favorite era of the Stones is from the beginning to about 1974. Yeah. So Mick Taylor for most of that. I'm not a big fan of the It's Only Rock and Roll album, mostly. There's one or two tracks I like off of it, but I would say Let It Bleed to Goat's Head Soup for Mick Taylor. Okay. Maybe the reason why It's Only Rock and Roll isn't that great is because it was going to be a transition album. I think Mick knew he was leaving, and that was going to be the end of that for him. But yeah, well, yeah, we could say that. There's a few people we obviously know in music, Syd Barrett and a few others that were acid casualties, Roky Erickson, you know, a bunch of people. What a Record is Right, okay? Truthfully, all right? So, Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers, and Exile. That is a boom, boom, boom right there, to me anyway. I love those three. That is just such a great trilogy. Yeah. Well, I think we can say that about a lot of people. You know, a lot of people. You know, and then Morrison, of course. They say, no, he died of heroin overdose. He went to a club, and what was it? Marianne Faithfull's boyfriend? Am I going to get this story right? It was a count, and supposedly he helped to supply the heroin, and it was bad heroin, or it was more, and Morrison OD'd. I don't know. Yeah. See, like I said, I like Brian and I like Mick. Okay, I'm not knocking Ronnie. It's just that, as far as for Stones is concerned, from the beginning to about Go Ted is my favorite whole era of the Stones. I like Some Girls. I definitely love Tattoo You. I'm glad I got it. It would behoove you to get the double CD of Tattoo You with the 8 unreleased tracks. You will have a nice experience. You really, really will. Is the Stones going to end up in the Jukebox from Hell eventually? Oh, you betcha. You betcha they're going to end up in there. But I'm not telling you which one, and I don't want to hear guesses from you 11 in the audience right now. And they all go, I think I know which one he's going to bring up. Jimmy Page was on that one, too. Oh, God, that's the hint. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said it. Now there'll be a bunch of answers with the album. Son of a bitch. See? That's what I mean. Not even seconds. Not even seconds. Well, yes, it is. It's very colorful. Nobody doing on dirty work. That's my due. That's season 2 coming up, though. I'm not doing it in season 1. Season 1 will be episode 10, and then I'm taking a couple weeks off. And then see you people are too okay. No, you're not too smart. You're all smarter than the average bear. This guy, but you guys have been around the block way more than me, and you guys just can figure it out. I'm new to this game. I know some people privately, truthfully, if I may tell you for a minute or two, some people privately were asking me, what is this whole Jukebox from Hell bit? Okay, why are you doing this? Well, the concept is, okay, all right, so I kind of swiped a comedy skit that I remember seeing in the late 70s, early 80s. Somebody was making fun of a K-Tel record, and they called it Jukebox from Hell. And that stuck with me because all the songs were shitty. It was the stuff that everyone hated, like Engelbert Humperdinck. Just a lot of crap was on this, and it was like they called it 10 LP set, and I'm like 10 LPs of Jukebox from Hell. So I'm just like, yes, I want to do shitty albums, or albums that were perceived as shitty. The critics hated them, even though we hate the critics, because we'll be our own judge. But the fans didn't maybe like them either. They didn't hit the charts, or they were very low on the charts. Why? And I play musical detective, and you guys come along with me as we explore every album that I pick from Jukebox from Hell. For example, as we've already shown in this, he's going to show this fucking album again. Yeah, just like the Contraband episode I just got done on episode 8 on my channel, this only charted to 187 in 1981. Okay, there was a single that got released in the UK. It was I think the Wild Living Fast Cars Wild Living, that made it on the singles chart in the UK briefly in 91. Other than that, it died an awful death. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking. Oh God. Ooh, I forgot about that one. Where's my pen? Anybody? Anybody else, while we're at it, have ideas that you would love to see me do for a Jukebox from Hell episode? I'll give you this one. I'll tell you who somebody somebody on the Zilch group for monkeys, when I posted the new monkey episode, they allowed me to. And they were like, it was one of the semi-regulars I chitty chat with. And they're like, hey, Paul, you ought to do the Chris Gaines album for Garth Brooks. That may be coming soon. Oh, fuck no. No, I'm not doing any Richard Clayderman, Zamfir the Pan Flute, none of that shit. I have to draw the line somewhere. I do like the Undercover of the Night song. Yes, I do, okay? Video's really friggin' weird. Very weird song. Yeah, I have an OG with the zipper, but I try to I don't know. Because I don't want to, I flip it so that the zipper is facing, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but the zipper is facing into the bookcase. So at least it's not cringing into the next album. You know what? Thank you, John, for bringing that up. Yes, please, prayers for Carl Palmer. Some of you people are going to know what we're talking about. Some aren't. John, will you explain a little bit better? Wasn't it heart-related issues or something? He is in the hospital. I am told he's improving. And but we still, prayers of healing to Carl Palmer. Also, I found out earlier today, prayers to Gary Wright. He is not doing very well. Parkinson's, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on this. But he's 80. I saw Jethro Tull, 7071 Las Vegas, incredible. Listening to Aqualung, I love Aqualung. Can't wait to get there. I heard about Rock Flute. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I have not heard anything off of it. Thank you. That is another one I want to look into. The Clash's Cut the Crap, which, if I remember correctly, barely has any Clash members on it, I think. That's it. Thank you. Heart procedure. So prayers to Carl Palmer, prayers to Gary Wright, for both of them. I like Gary Wright. Okay, I do. I'm kind of sick of hearing Dreamweaver. That's another one of those songs that I'll hear. I want to hear that maybe once every few months. I don't want to hear it more than that. The station that's near me does like to play Love is Alive, which I do love that song. I do not like whoever remade that song. I'd like to go back in time and punch him in the throat. Because I'm like, why? You leave it alone. It was nice. Of course, I liked his work in Spooky Tooth. Spooky Tooth. There is an excellent YouTube clip of Wonder Wheel, which was Gary Wright and Mick Jones, and George Harrison comes in and jams on the Dick Cavett show. That is a nice little piece. Like I said, yeah, Rock Flute is the name of it. I used to think Love is a... You know what? I could see that. I really could see that because it kind of has that feel, doesn't it? Yes, with a bunch of umlauts. More umlauts than Blue Oyster Cult combined. That would have been an interesting double bill. I would have loved to have seen that. I saw Eddie Money, and I met Eddie Money, and I liked Eddie Money. Eddie was so laid back. Really, he was. I got to hang with him backstage because I worked that, and then I got to see the show and playing drums on the tour. That would be 2003 4, I think it was. Oh man, Donnie Baldwin from Jefferson Starship / Starship, and Eldon Bishop was the drummer. No kidding. Oh my God, that would have been a show too. I would have loved that. Yeah, definitely. I need to find the Gary Wright album that George Harrison is on. Actually, it's funny because, and I know some of you people out there already are going to go, are you talking about the Gary Wright one that was released in the last couple of years that had unreleased George on it? No, but I need that one too. George was on, I think, one of Gary's early 70s albums. He guests, but I can't remember where exactly. That's pretty damn cool. Yes. I like I said, I love. They should have had the band Saint Paradise open for him, because then you could go, I got 2 tickets to Saint Paradise, baby. They're opening for me tonight. Oh, as everybody runs away now, they're like, oh fuck, Psycho's singing again. Good old Jay Giles. I love Jay Giles. See, okay, so she did end up. All right, yeah, I didn't get to see. I don't know. One of the last concerts he played down here, and I regret not going. He ended up playing the mall down here in Fayetteville. They had a thing called Wing Fest, okay, and Eddie was the only big namer they ever got. They only did like 3 or 4 Wing Fests, and then they stopped it. But Eddie was the only main name. I should have went and saw him again. I wouldn't have minded torturing him. I got a handful of signed Eddie albums when I met him. Thanks for stopping by. It's always great to have everybody here, and thank you. Seriously. We'll see y'all again soon. Wow, 2 hours. Jeez. I've been on 2 hours. That's okay. That's all right. I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. Out of all honesty. That's right. Everybody tune in tomorrow to Royce's show. I think I should be able to do that, Royce. I will, because normally I work on Sundays, and I think you said you're 6:30, right? 6:30 Pacific Standard. Is that what you said? I'm an idiot. So much for short-term memory. But I should be able to watch it. I have tomorrow off for once. But I don't know. You know, I just I like coming on here when I can. I wish I could do this more often, to be honest with you, because we need more. Well, thank you. You're being too kind. You have got a great show, and you got a great channel, and we've got lots and lots. And you know what? And thank you for that, because, like I said, we've got the tablet. That's going here. I've got this new lav mic. Eventually, we'll get the light bar going so we can look a little better. Because once I get that light bar up, I'll probably move it into the living room. And then you guys can see some of the posters you guys have seen in some of my videos. We'll make it look a little more colorful. I'll probably be in this apartment for another couple months before I move wherever I'm going to move to next. I know that the girlfriend has offered me to live there in their modest home, but there's some personal things I'm not going to bring up. Has nothing to do with her, by the way. I'd move in there in a heartbeat with her, but there's other things that are holding me back, at least for a while. Maybe it'll, give it some space. Not her and me. We're great. We're beautiful. We love each other. But the issues she's got, we're going to give a little bit of space, and hopefully it'll all work itself out in the wash, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Rain set for Sunday. All right, so let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to bring up to you guys? I think not. I think we're all golden. Yeah, I can't think of anything right now. I want to thank everybody. It's too bad I couldn't get anybody up on here with me. I want to test out communication. I know you guys can hear me, thank God. And yes, thank you, George. Thank you, to be honest with you. Once again, guys, I want you guys to sub to all the wonderful channels here. George and Royce and John and everybody else, Fox Guy, Manoff, all of them. Because you guys, this is how it should be, okay? This is how a YouTube music show mixed with pop culture, we want fun. I don't like drama. I don't like arguments. I don't like bullshit, okay? And even though sometimes I do hang around once in a while with certain groups of people, as you guys will know, that's just because I like to flit in and out. I'm a flitter. Flitter, that didn't sound right. Thank you, seriously, all of you. But we go to educate and entertain here in the Psychos Platters Network. And if you haven't already, guys, please like and sub. Not that it normally matters, but I'll tell you this. I've been doing this for 12 years. Charles. Hi, Charles. Hey, Paul, forgive me if you've already brought this up, but did you hear that Friday Music is issuing the Monkeys, Birds, Bees, and Mono on vinyl? Really? No, I didn't know that. And now you got me curious. I may have to investigate. I may have to investigate such things. Thank you. Once again, thank you, everybody. Yeah, well, me too, okay? Part of the reason why I haven't been up on Ghost's channel, because I don't mind going up on there. You know how I like to laugh and chuckle and give certain people, I give them a piss or two, if you get my drift, because I like to do that, and they do the same thing back. When I'm up there, I don't have an agenda. I just like to hang around and have some fun, and then I'm out. Within mostly 30 minutes, I'm out. But like I said, the health problems combined with waiting to get this mic set up and everything, I didn't want to look more dumb than I already have sometimes on her channel, because due to all my previous internet gremlins and sometimes the mic would go weird, and I hate that. I know mistakes happen, but I hate looking like an ass when I'm up on camera. That's just all there is to it. I know people make mistakes. I make lots of them. But in the VC here, I remember somebody asked recently, is the vinyl community dead? No, it's not dead. The vinyl community is alive and thriving. It is, okay? There's a lot more younger and newer people coming into it, okay? And if it's one thing, and I've said that up on Ghost's channel, I think I've said it on Royce's once or twice. I've said it up on Doc's. Is Doc doing a show tomorrow, Tim? I know he did one Thursday because I was watching that. Doc has got a great channel too. And so, but all the channels, even on Mayo's, I've brought up about how we should keep open ears and open mind when it comes to new music, old music. Just, in other words, don't be like some douches and snobberies elsewhere in the VC. And I'm not even talking jazz. I like a little bit of jazz. But a certain person got snubbed because they got a couple $2 jazz records. And they were all excited to get the $2 jazz records. And the other person was like, it's like, You don't do that to anybody. What the hell? You don't do it to everybody. You just don't. Okay, I may or may not make an appearance. I have to see if I'll be back in time. It's okay, and it's all right. Oh, nice. Very nice. Western New York. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Yes. Yeah, I think it's 3 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. Central Standard. But but I don't like it when people put other people down for their musical taste. Like I told you, the record store guy I go to, I've called him out. I've called him out publicly. I've said it to his face too. If I'm going to say something to you guys, I'm going to say something to him because it'll, I don't care. It'll come back anyway. And he's like, he calls my collection weird. You got a weird collection. Well, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, Mr. Pretentious. I like my whatever makes me happy, right? That's why we collect music. Whatever makes us happy. We hear the new sounds our friends hear and in the real world. Help us out. Remember when we were kids and teenagers, and even in our early 20s, and all our friends, over some beer or coffee. I did both, but not together because that's just disgusting. Or whatever, and be like, hey, you got to listen to this. That's the way that the attitude should be. Okay, is explore, be the musical detective. And when you find something that you think's great, pass it on to somebody else. It may not be somebody else's cup of tea, but at least you did your job. You went off and you went and spread the word. You spread the word of music. That's what the vinyl community is about. And YouTube is a nice forum to do that on. I do have a Twitch account. I'm working on it, though. I'm not ready to announce that because I'm trying to figure out if I can do short hour shows. Like how Grown Man Record Night and Aaron Mr. Bizarro likes to go and do those kind of things. I'd like to do that once in a while, too, an hour at a time. I couldn't do more than that. I just don't have the patience like some of them do. But I'd like to do that in the future. Also, I'm working on trying to line up interviews. Knock on wood. We might be getting some interviews in the future for Psycho's Platters. So stay tuned, please. Like and sub. I'm around in the low 930s right now. I really would like to get to 1,000. I really, really would. Why? I've been doing this for 12 years. I just think, I think it'd be nice. Then after that, I don't care, about the numbers. I really don't even care about the numbers really now anyway. It's just I've been doing this for 12 years, and it would make me feel good, okay? I don't care about any other reasons than that. And I love all my people here. I really do. I've said this before. You guys make the show, not me. Thrift stores have crashing on vinyl. I'm not going to lie. I haven't, other than the couple that I found last Saturday for $1 a piece, that's probably the first vinyl that I have bought in about 2 months from a resale place. Are you going to any live show? That's a very good question. Okay, so the potential is there. The potential. There was one that was just announced. I am trying to get the specifics figured out. But in late July, I'll have to make a short jaunt to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, to possibly see the legendary. He's been there before, but I don't know. I got to go this time. The legendary Dave Mason will be there. That's right. And you know what? He actually has reasonably priced meet and greet packages where proceeds go to the Wounded Warrior Project. And so I don't mind. I think they're like $50. It's $50 for meet and greet package last time I remember. And that's not too shabby. And I definitely have some Traffic and Dave Mason and that Fleetwood. that Fleetwood Mac Time CD. I want to get those signed. He'll look at that CD and go, oh, shit. Charles, I just want to say that I'm a relatively new subscriber to your channel and have been enjoying your content. Well, thank you, seriously. I'm also a huge Monkey fan as well. Did you get a copy of the latest Super Headquarters Super Deluxe? I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted it, but it's called lack of funds. That's what it is. That one, yeah, I want my rock and roll to show up more. That Super Headquarters I would have loved. I also wish I could have got, although such drama and such quality control issues on the Monkees Blu-ray box set, I still want one. I just, you know, the prices kept getting ridiculous. And yes, and then they would keep finding, and then there was over-ordering, and then somebody kept dropping the ball. It's just a bunch of nonsense. I don't understand why they just can't release it more now that more people want it. But thank you for subscribing to me. We'll do some more monkey talk down the line. Picked up oh, look at you. I love me some Chamber Brothers. I came across actually some Chamber Brothers today, along with some Sly and the Family Stone. For the life of me, one of them was in quad, but I cannot remember what album. Back when Sly was really, really good. And instead of, let's see, I want to see Buddy Guy again. I would love to see Buddy Guy. I don't think he's coming anywhere near me. But guess what? I'll tell you something, Walrus. I am one of my high school friends. So, you know, God, I cannot remember his stage name. Well, okay, his stage name is Frank Bang, but his real name is Frank Blinkle. And he played with Buddy Guy for 5 years. I want to say it was late 80s, early 90s. I could be wrong on that. But I have seen him on stage with Buddy Guy several times in photos. Yes, that's right. You know, and hell, maybe I ought to get my Watchtower, my Hendrix album signed. The Headquarter remix of Andrew Sandoval is one of the best remixes I've ever heard. It combines the best elements of the mono and stereo. Headquarters happens to be my favorite Monkees album. Charles, I'll tell you something. My favorite Monkees albums are Headquarters and Pisces Aquarius. And Charles, I came across a mono Pisces Aquarius today. Unfortunately, one of the sides, beautiful condition. The cover was in beautiful condition. The other flip side of the album, somebody took a damn screwdriver and scratched the shit out of it. I was so pissed. And I didn't even need a copy. I already got one. I was going to buy it if it was if it was a cheapo price. I would have bought it. And then I know some Monkees fans that are looking for that album, and I would have just simply sold it to them for what I paid for it in shipping and handling. That's what I would have done. Now look at you. See, don't do it on 49. You and your 49-cent 45s. I'm jealous. I wish I had a damn place that would do that. And my little 45 honey hole dried up. I do have. God, do I have? Yeah, I have Don't Do It. I've got Don't Do It. But I didn't pay 49 cents. I think I paid $4.99. Which was funny. That was at an antique mall a couple of years back. I want to say in a challenge sleeve, too, but I could be wrong. I need to get the picture sleeves for Don't Do It in Huff Puff. Look at that, Saw Buddy. See, I need to see Buddy Guy. Also, if I remember correctly, if you go into the Buddy Guy's official website, you can find some signed items from time to time. I need to pull the trigger and get one. Most of the Monkees albums I find are beat up horrible. Listen, always good to see you. It's been a long time, Merrick. I know. I'm glad you're still around. Merrick has been a supporter on and off to my channel for, a couple of years now, Merrick? I'm glad to see you back in action. And I like the Calvin and Hobbes, too. That's great. But I am going to wrap this up. Let's see. I had up to about 16 people in here today, which is okay. I got 14 right now. I don't know what's coming up out there for you guys to watch past me, but I want everybody to have a good evening on mine here. It just turned 11 o'clock Central Standard. I want you guys to have a good kick-ass evening. I might post a very short video tomorrow if I got some time. Watch Royce's show tomorrow, 6:30 Pacific Standard. Watch Doc Dacus's 3 o'clock Central Standard. I'm going to get myself all confused. You know what, George? Thank you. And thank everybody here. I love doing these things. Yeah. Like I said, I missed you. I really did. Thanks, Tim. You know, you're always a treasure, seriously. And thank you always too, Walrus. You guys are what makes the show. I love you. I'm going to shut the hell up now. Take care. God bless. Rock on. Always powered by coffee each and every time. And the occasional Oreo. Isn't that right? All right. Take care.